I got a question. How is math biased against blacks? Why do Asians do better on math than whites? This graph shows how much high school homework is done by blacks, Hispanics, whites, and Asians. Look at this. The bar on the left is the homework done by Asians. Right to the right is the blacks. See how low it is? And then Hispanics, and then whites. Now, assuming there's a correlation between how hard you work, whether it's practicing your jump shot or working on a book report, maybe this is the explanation.
What's going on, everyone? Social here today. We're reacting to kind of what Larry Elder is explaining about affirmative action. I know I've been beating on the affirmative action narrative quite a bit on my channel. I think it's one of my more popular videos. And the reason why I just don't like affirmative action is that I just want to be treated equally, right? We all have the right to try out, but we all don't have the right to make the team. That's my argument, right? Because DEI only applies to only predominantly white colleges. They don't do DEI for black colleges. And this is where the inconsistency comes from, and why I don't actually agree with a lot of the affirmative action DEI stuff, because it's not equally applied. All right. Discrimination is only bad when it happens to our minority, but not the majority. Right. Basketball players are 80% in the NBA black. No one's putting out DEI programs to have more women in there, more white people in there, non-black people in there. No one's doing that. Nope. Because it benefits them. Oh, it looks good on them. But when they see on the other side, oh, we don't have enough black people in engineering, let's put blacks for tech or some BS like that. And the funny part is they still don't get the people that they supposedly are marketing to. And it's this lowering of the bar that I have an issue with, is that they don't believe in your capabilities enough for you to rise on your own. And Larry Elder is going to get into this a little bit in this next clip, where he talks about how much time white people and Asian people spend doing homework, and then how Asian people actually perform better than everybody academically. And you already saw it in the intro. They spend more time doing homework. They got more reps in the gym. While you was shooting in the gym, the Asians was in their bedroom studying to get ahead of you in academics. And you wonder why black people are disproportionately represented in sports, and Asian people are disproportionately represented in academia, even though both of them are minorities. Bruh. I see a correlation there. One spends more time doing homework, Asian people, and more time doing sports, black people, and you see the disproportionate outcomes. Bruh. Effort, behavior drives results, not your race, not your skin color. But hey, I digress. Let's get into this clip.
It's done called Racial and Ethnic Differences in Homework Time Among U.S. Teens. And it found, and I'm quoting from the study, African-American high school sophomores spent less time on homework than their non-Hispanic white counterparts, while Asian-American students spent more than both racial groups of students. They found that family income, parental occupation, and parental education partly accounted for the difference in homework between African-American and white students. Demographic characteristics and family structure rather than socioeconomic background partly accounted for the difference between Asian American and white students, end of quote.
So you heard that. Asians, the family structure play a big part, because in the day, I throw these stats all the time. Married couples are less likely to be in poverty than single people or unmarried couples, right? There's correlations there, right? So if Asian people, who are 70% married, by the way, bruh, which is the complete opposite of black people. 70% of black people are raised by single mothers. Give me another one. Bruh. Yo, the facts, the results speak for itself. End of the day, results don't prove a narrative. It's up to you to make the argument for the narrative. But how I see it is, Asian people, they create a family structure. They have order. 2-parent households. They're studious. Right? They work hard and they're proficient in the academic world. They push their kids towards high probability outcomes, becoming an engineer, doctor, lawyer. While the black community, majority raised by single mothers, don't have a good structure in there. Usually, yes, usually that's the case. Don't how dare me. Look, it's true. Right? No structure. We don't get pushed towards education. We get pushed towards sports, which have a low probability chances of you becoming successful, full of people who make it to the NBA because there's only 450 spots compared to millions of job opportunities for lawyers, engineers, doctors. Bruh. The probabilities are just not in your favor. This is why disproportionately a lot of black people are not successful. This is why in the Census Bureau, in the U.S. Census Bureau, black people on average make less money than everyone else. Bruh. Behavior. I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse until it's blue in the face, because it seems like it needs to be repeated. Too many people believe this narrative that, oh, every racial disparity is due to race. No, race is not a factor, in my view. I believe there's other more impactful factors. Maybe race could be a factor. Yes, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Yes. But the probability of that being the case is not likely to me. I think maybe 4%. Maybe race plays 4% into your failures. Most of the time, it's where you were born, who your parents are, if you're raised by a married or single parent, right? Married parents or single mother, whatever, right? Your economic status, your personal abilities and talents, your personal knowledge, skills, and experience. Those things to me have more impact. Behavior has more impact. The content of your character has more impact than the color of your skin in America today. Bruh. But people want to still sit here and try to throw this alibi that it's racism. If I would have to recommend a book, it would be Disparities and Discrimination. And in his book, Thomas Sowell talks about how discrimination has a cost. If you're a racist basketball coach, I make this example. I'm a big basketball fan. If you're a racist basketball coach, you will still pick LeBron James. Bruh. Because your job will be on the line. You won't cut your nose to spite your face. Like no logical person will do that. Because you want to keep your $1 million a year coaching job, right? Then you have to hire the best talent. And the best talent tends to be what? Black. Bruh. So are you going to compromise your job, your self-interest? This is what capitalism is based on. We all know most people will do what's in their best interest. And if it's in your best interest, hey, I need to stay in my job. I have to keep winning. Hey, these black players will help you win. And you see it historically. Once they saw one college coach do an all-black player team and see how successful, how athletic, how well these black players play compared to white players, they're like, damn, we got to change our strategy or else we'll keep losing. Bruh. But it seems like a lot of people don't see it this way. Here's my final point. This will end up, and this will kind of show how affirmative action directly hurts black students. Let's take a look.
In the late 1960s, economist and Professor Tom Sowell did a study at Cornell. He found out that the average black student at Cornell scored at the 75th percentile on the SAT, while the average white student scored above the 95th percentile on the SAT. Half of the black students at Cornell ended up on academic probation by the late 1960s. When MIT had its affirmative action program, a quarter of the black students did not graduate, and many of the black students who did graduate were more likely to be in the bottom quarter of the MIT class. Many of these black students could have gone on to other colleges and done superbly well. However, because of affirmative action, mismatching students to colleges where the academic rigor is far above their credentials causes needless failures. This is known as the mismatch theory. As Sowell puts it, there is no prestige in flunking out of Ivy Leagues, end of quote.
Thomas Sowell, bro. I'm telling you, he has a way with words. There's no prestige in flunking out of the Ivy Leagues. Damn. Whoa. Like if you're end of the day, if in sports, this is why I like to relate a lot of things to sports, because sports is the ultimate meritocracy. You can't get away with just being the coach's favorite. You have to have some level of proficiency to still be on the team, because it'll be obvious to everyone. Oh, he don't deserve to be a starter. Look how he's playing. He doesn't play as well as this other guy that's coming off the bench, right? Because in the sports world they call it the eye test. You can't fool that. People can observe that. Hey, this player is better than this player, or they're kind of in the similar level, but I'll prefer this player before this player. Oh, why he's starting? He doesn't play that well compared to this guy here. Why he's not getting more play time? Bruh. Right? But in the academic world, because in the academic world, they live on theories. And I forgot who said this quote. I think his name was Feynman. It's called the Feynman technique. Feynman, I don't know if I'm mispronouncing his name. Sorry if I do. But he has this quote where he's saying that if you test out a theory in reality, and the reality shows you your theory is wrong, you must accept that your theory is wrong. But not in academia. Academia look at the reality like, how dare you, and object it. Objection! Because they don't want to accept that their theory is wrong. So they'll double down, keep going, because there's no penalty for them being wrong. these politicians, these academics, these theorists. There's no consequences for them. But there's consequences for us if we're wrong. If you make a bad investment, you lose your money. If the government makes a bad bet, they lose your money. Bruh. And that's the truth. And this is why a lot of this policies don't work, because they don't properly take in the pros and cons and see how it affects people. They just be like, no, we want to do this. We want to take credit for the fact, oh, look, more black people are in college than ever before. But they don't tell you the stat that you just finished seeing, that you set up a lot of these black students to fail in these universities because you mismatched them in the wrong university. You're essentially setting them up to fail. You're putting them in an environment where they'll fail. Like, come on. Bruh. If I put a short player to play center, I'm setting him up for failure. But it's so obvious to me. This is reality. End of the day, you need the knowledge, skill, and experience to be at a college of a certain caliber. And if you don't qualify for that college, then you deserve to be in a lower tier, and you'll be successful there. I recommend you guys watch this entire video on this. The link in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video. I really do appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for subscribing. Thanks so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. I do see all the comments. I try to heart them as much as I can as I'm working through this. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Don't forget, I already said that. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.